Hello YouTube, and welcome to my meta builds for 2015, and today I will be showing you the warrior build. This build, as you can see, is stances. This build was a meta a long time ago, and then it was patched and stances were nerfed, but now they've made a comeback and they are extremely overpowered now. So I'm going to show you how they work. So I'm using Soldier's Amulet for power, toughness, and vitality, because this is a power based build. As you can see, my power and my armor rating is really nice, and my vitality is really high, and it's just really versatile and it's very good. I would pick it over criticals with this build. Then we got the Rune of Strength, which is kind of one of the most overpowered runes right now, because it's great for stacking might. It increases your might duration by 45%, not including the boon duration that I have here of an extra 30%. So in all, that's 45% plus another 30, which is 75% additional might duration, which is just insane, and it allows me to stack might kind of like a madman, you know, because I'm using Sigil of Battle on both of my weapons. Well, plus with the Signet of Rage and any other might that anybody else will be throwing on you, like the Guardian Staff or anything else. It's just, the damage just becomes outrageous. Plus I use Bloodlust to increase my power by 10 whenever I kill an enemy, and so this build does some pretty serious damage, along with some great survivability with the armor and the huge health. I'm running Great Sword with Sword and Shield. The Great Sword is just the best weapon on the warrior. I mean, I can't just put it any other way. It's got a great auto attack to put the vulnerability and does a great amount of damage. The 100 Blades is great for when they're immobilized, when I have a trait spent to immobilize when I cripple, which will be the Blade Trail. So cripple, which immobilizes, and then you can use the 100 Blades, which does huge damage. And then you got your Whirl Attack and Rush to kind of chase people down, and Whirl Attack is a combo finisher, and so is the Blade Trail, so you can make use of those combo fields. Plus, if you have the Swiftness on with Signet of Rage, these attacks will go much farther and allow you to run much farther. And so here is the Sword and Shield. Got a great auto attack because it cripples and bleeds, so when you cripple it'll immobilize them. Same with the Savage Leap, which is also a combo finisher, great for chasing down people and making sure they can't get away. Final Thrust, just enormous damage, and if they're injured, which means they're under 50% health, this attack basically does twice the damage, which is just huge with the might stacking. And sometimes you can critical with the Fury, even though it's pretty low. I seem to critical, I wouldn't say often, but enough to where it's pretty savage. So here I got Shield Bash. That's for the interrupt on those annoying elementalist heals that cure all those conditions, and to just prevent people from doing anything when their health gets really low. Plus it does some nice damage, and it's also a combo finisher. And then the Shield Stance just blocks attacks for 3 seconds, great for survivability. And with the Stance's Vigor to regenerate your endurance. Once you run out of dodge rolls or you want to save up on your endurance, you can just hit Shield Stance, let your endurance build back up, and then swap weapons and continue the fight. And here we have the Healing Signet to give you healing over time. Never use this, just let its passive effect do its thing. It's just not worth using, even though the cooldown is 20 seconds. You just really don't need it. If you're gonna die, hopefully one of these stances will be here for you to help you out, because Endure Pain makes you immune to damage, but you can still be hit by conditions and control effects. But this is also a break stun, and 60 seconds seems like a long time, but it only is a long time if you're using all the stances at once, which is not a good idea either. This one over here is Berserker Stance. It builds adrenaline really fast, and it'll make you immune to conditions basically for 10 seconds. and that's just insane. So you want to activate these not at the same time, but maybe one after the other or whenever it's really needed. The Warrior's Longbow, great to activate this, or when you're fighting Necros or Mesmers. Berserker's Stance is going to come in really handy. If someone goes into like a Lich form on the Necro, then Endure Pain is great. And Endure Pain is kind of the bane of Thief builds. They just really can't do anything against this. And Balanced Stance is one of my favorite stances. I mean, this is just a given. It gives you 13 seconds of stability. That's just enormous. Plus it's a break stun, and its cooldown is only 40 seconds. Just extremely overpowered. So now let's move on to the traits so that you can better understand how the build works. So here we got Thick Skin, so you got even more toughness when your health is above 90%, which, you know, keeping your health above 90% is hard, but the extra toughness helps anyway. Increased stance durations. This is just a need, a must-have. It increases the duration, and it'll increase the boons given as well. So it'll increase the boon duration by another 25%, which is crazy. With the might duration plus the boon duration plus another 25 is basically doubling the duration of the might and all these other boons. So adrenal health just regenerates based on adrenaline. That's not too bad. I mean, the heal isn't huge, but it's great when it stacks with your Signet passive heal here. But typically I tend to use it on Flurry or the Greatsword F1 attack to get more Fury, and it just does big damage, has great range, and this one will immobilize and stack bleeding. It's great to just finish people off and keep them from running, because this has 4 seconds of immobilize when it's at the maximum of adrenaline level, which you can build really fast with Berserker Stance. So here you have Last Stand. It'll activate your Balanced Stance whenever you're hit by a control effect. This one's cooldown is 90 seconds, but that's okay because you got another one down here. And so, you know, you just get hit with a control effect, it'll automatically activate a Balanced Stance for you, which is just extremely helpful. And here we have Armored Attack to gain power based on toughness, and it converts 10% of toughness to power. And since we're using Soldier's Amulet to give a large amount of toughness, the shield gives more toughness when you're using it. And since we have 6 in the defense tree, that's a lot of power. I mean, that's just insane damage. Plus, with all the might stacking, this build just has everything, you know, except criticals. But criticals are just not needed. This build does way too much damage without it. So here we have Endure Pain. Basically, you hit 25% health, and it activates Endure Pain. Simple as that. You'll be immune to just straight damage for 5 seconds. It'll break you out of a stun, because you might be stunned, and that would be really helpful. The cooldown's 60 seconds, just like the one down here. So if you're about to die, and you know that this hasn't been activated yet, don't bother activating one of these. Just save it, let that one's duration wear off, and then use another one. And by then you should be healed up from your adrenaline healing and your passive healing, and maybe other people healing you. Down here, gain extra toughness per level while reviving. That's just helpful if you need to revive somebody, you'll be a lot harder to kill. Plus you can activate one of your stances and not be interrupted when you're reviving or when you're stomping. But Balanced Stances for stomping and resurrecting and just whatever you need to do. So here I have Leg Specialist, which is whenever you cripple, you'll immobilize them. If you'd like, you can get rid of this one for Desperate Power, because this one's when your health hits 25% or less. You do 20% extra damage. That's just if you want a lot more power based and a lot less control, but I love the control, and I always pick control over base power. Here is Fast Healer, increases revive speed by 10%. That's just helpful. Here it has Shrug It Off, so basically you're hit by a condition, it removes it immediately, and for 5 other people around you it also will break a stun, so it's really good. Here we have Reviver's Might to grant might to nearby allies when you revive someone, also good for the might stacking. Here we have Empowered to increase damage for every boon on me. This one is just extremely helpful because there's 3, Fury, Might, and Swiftness. This one is Stability, Swiftness, and Vigor, and all the other ones grant Vigor. So it's just great, and everyone else will be putting boons on you as well, especially when you're traveling with elementalists. So this one is just really nice. I mean, I love this trait. And then here, gain adrenaline on weapon swap. I mean, that's just really helpful to build the adrenaline. And here we have vigorous focus, which is why all my stances give vigor for the extra dodging. And that's basically everything there is to it. So thank you all for watching, and leave a comment below if you have questions or you have your own version of the build you'd like to share. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Have a nice day.